Rich man's offer. A few months ago, my life was simple, if not exactly easy. I was trying to make ends meet, hustling, dreaming of a better future. Then a phone call changed everything. It was Janet, a friend from fashion school, bubbling with excitement, talking about a huge opportunity. I had seen her just that morning, so her sudden enthusiasm felt off. She insisted I come over that evening. When I did, she started talking about getting rich, not forgetting her when the money rolled in. I was confused. Then she mentioned a man I'd seen that morning, a man in a big car outside her workplace. He was her boss's friend, she said, and he was interested in me. Janet was practically glowing, talking about how my life was about to change. She painted this man, John, as my destiny helper, a ticket to a life I'd only dreamed of. Now, I wasn't naive. I had a boyfriend, Marcus. We'd been together 4 years, living together. He was an Uber driver, not rich, but he'd been my rock. My family had never cared, but he did. He put me through fashion school, supported my dreams. I was trying to make it on my own, selling clothes from home, bottled water, soft drinks. It wasn't much, and sometimes people didn't pay. I dreamed of opening my own shop, but Marcus wasn't in a position to help yet. I felt stuck, useless. Janet knew my situation. She knew I needed money, that I wanted my own shop. She played on that, telling me this was my chance. She said Marcus didn't have to know, that we could keep it a secret. She even said if John had been interested in her, she would have said yes, and she was married. Slowly, she chipped away at my resolve. She said John would call, and I should go along with it, that it was my destiny. And he did call a few days later. John was direct. He told me he wanted me, that he was attracted to me. He was honest about being married, said he wanted a side relationship. I knew it was wrong, but I said yes. He wanted to meet the next day. I was hesitant, but Janet said it was fine, that he was her boss's friend, not a stranger. So I lied to Marcus, said I was going out with Janet, and met John. He took me to a fancy restaurant, told me to order anything I wanted. We talked, and then he asked me to go with him. He drove us to a hotel, said he'd booked a room, that we could talk more. He promised he wouldn't force me, that we could just get to know each other. He said we'd meet at the hotel often, since he couldn't take me home. I was so foolish. I believed him. I went into that hotel room, and that's when my life started to unravel. Let's really get into the heart of this. You were vulnerable, weren't you? You had dreams, aspirations, but you felt trapped, limited by your circumstances. Janet saw that, and she used it. She dangled the prospect of a better life, a life you desperately wanted. And John, he was a predator. He saw your vulnerability, your desire for a better life, and he exploited it. He offered you money, attention, a way out of your current situation. But let's be clear, this wasn't an opportunity. It was a trap, a dangerous game that could only end in heartbreak. You were betraying Marcus, the man who had been there for you, who had supported your dreams. You were lying to him, sneaking around, compromising your integrity. And for what? Money? A chance to open a shop? Was it worth the cost? Was it worth the guilt, the shame, the betrayal? You were also betraying yourself. You were compromising your values, your morals, your sense of self-worth. You were allowing yourself to be used, to be objectified, to be reduced to a means to an end. And Janet, she was no friend. She was an enabler, a manipulator, a user. She was willing to sacrifice your happiness for her own selfish desires. She saw you as a way to get closer to John, to benefit from his wealth, to elevate her own status. She didn't care about your feelings, your well-being, your future. You were a pawn in her game, a tool to be used and discarded. But let's not forget about you. You made choices too. You chose to lie, to cheat, to betray. You chose to compromise your values, to ignore your conscience. You were driven by desperation, by a desire for a better life. But desperation is no excuse for bad choices. You were responsible for your actions, for the consequences that followed. You couldn't blame Janet or John or Marcus. You had to take responsibility for your own decisions. And now you're paying the price. You're trapped in a web of lies, deceit, and betrayal. You're losing your self-respect, your dignity, your sense of worth. But it's not too late to change. It's not too late to take back your power, to reclaim your life. Start by being honest with yourself. Acknowledge your mistakes, your weaknesses, your flaws. Then be honest with Marcus. Tell him the truth, no matter how painful it may be. He deserves to know, to make his own decisions. And finally, be honest with Janet. Confront her, tell her how you feel, how she betrayed your trust. It won't be easy. It will require courage, strength, and a willingness to face the consequences of your actions. But you can do it. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you realize. And you deserve happiness, not just a fleeting moment of it, but a lasting, fulfilling, authentic happiness. Don't let your past define you. Don't let your mistakes control you. Learn from them, grow from them, and move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and integrity.